Hello, I am Yogini Sunita, and this is Meditation, Yoga, and Stuff podcast. I believe my dharma or my life's purpose is to share my understanding of meditation, yoga, and Ayurveda, holistic healing science of India. I make these amazing wisdoms accessible and adaptable for present times. So let's start. Welcome to the podcast. Today's topic is mental health and yoga, meditation, and Ayurveda. Meditation is really big part of yoga. In fact, the physical asana practice is a very small part in yoga philosophy. So for me, yoga and meditation is one and same. And also Ayurveda is really beautiful holistic science, which is originated in India. And all these yoga, Ayurveda, and meditation, these are really wonderful because they understand our human mind. And even though these sciences are discovered many years ago, they're still applicable because in human evolution, we are not changed much. We still have same worries, same issues in a way. And now that our life has become a little bit busier compared to what it was at ancient time, but we still have the similar worries like shelter. Our mind still wanders. So what we can do with these practices is we can bring peace and calm in our life. And these practices are very adaptable. We can easily adapt these practices into our day-to-day life now in this moment. Even though we may be driving cars and ancient beings were maybe walking everywhere, but it's still, all the practices are still applicable. So let's start with asana, the physical side of yoga. So how it helps. So what happens in asana is, even though intention of yoga practices to move towards enlightenment, we're going to look at it very practically. So how can asana, the physical movement, help us? So you will notice that in asana practices, we move almost each and every part of our body. A lot of attention is towards the joints and a lot of attention towards what's happening in the body. So your yoga teacher may be constantly bringing you back towards bringing awareness into your body, into your breath. Stay connected with that. And what happens that most of the times our mind is constantly wandering. We hardly bring our attention inwards. So these practices can help us to connect with ourselves. Now, meditation may not be for everyone in the beginning. But asana practices may work more effectively, the physical movements. The reason for that is because the body is tangible. We can feel it move. We can sense it if we lift our arms up and down or if we move our legs. So we can connect with our body more easily. And that's why these asana practices are so effective. And also when we bring awareness towards those parts of the body, when, say, for example, if you are lifting your arm, when you bring awareness there and you hold the poses for some time. Now, again, everything needs to be working with our body, never against our body. In yoga, we do not force anything. So when you lift to arm to your capacity, you start noticing, okay, so this is happening today. I'm aware of this. Maybe I should engage this muscle or I should relax this muscle. We also start noticing that how we unnecessarily hold tension in our body, tension in some muscles, which is not really beneficial. For example, you will notice that in some physical movement, your face is very tense and your eyes are really tense as well. So when we start noticing, can we relax that? Because we don't really need to tense these muscles. We don't need to lift our shoulders up. in all poses. So this awareness comes through understanding of physical movements of body. And this is where yoga is asana practices stand in their own way, because we can connect with physical movement very easily. Now, if a person is going through mental health crisis, what happens that the mind gets really rambled up, really, get tangled up into the thoughts. So just that few moments of connecting with the body, connecting with the movements happening in body, it's actually works as an intervention for our mind. So that's why it's very important to tune into what's happening in the body. And in yoga wisdom, it's not really physical exercise. Actually, we're working with our energetic body as well. So even though we are moving physical body, we are unlocking the locks or blockages in our energetic system. So that's why it's really, really amazing how asana practice can be very effective. Let me just tell you, though, that the correct asana practice for your system is very important. Not every asana will work for you. So we need to find out what really works. And my suggestion is gentle is the way to go, because when we slow down, we can connect with the movements. We can start noticing what's happening in the body. Are we activating this muscle? Are we relaxing those muscles? What's happening? Can we lift arms up and above head today? If not, what are we doing? Where the compensation is coming from? All this is awareness is the key. In wisdom of yoga, when you are aware, when you become aware of these things, we are in the state of yoga. So awareness is the key. Now, when you have these physical movements and you understand that, I'm holding maybe tension here, or I need to relax there, or I need to keep gentle breath happening. So all this is, we're taking that information in, and at the end of the practice, there has to be a relaxation practice. What this relaxation or shavasana practices does, a guided shavasana practices, it's works like a save button. Neurologically, we save this information in our system. So that's why it's very powerful. It becomes the whole combination of starting with breathing practices, then gently beginning to work with your joint, moving towards stronger practices, and then slowing down again after that, coming back to gentler practices. And then poses like legs up the wall or Viparita Karani. These poses are also really, really important to bring us out of our fight and flight mode. And at the end, when we have guided relaxation, that really, really helps us to keep our, give the wholesome experience for the practitioner. So if you are looking for a yoga class, see if these are all offered in your yoga classes. It is very important to understand that no pain, no gain doesn't work with yoga. The gentle you are and conscious of what's happening in your system, the more effective these practices will be. So I suggest that, and there are many forms of doing these practices. So same asana can be modified from very gentle. You can do it with the chair if you want. You do it with support of the wall. So there are many ways to bring the same effect up, according to your capacity, your body's need at that point. And every day our body needs different practice, or its needs are different. So tuning into that, and also not forcing yourself. If we force, that is not yoga. Yoga is first principle is ahimsa. And when we force any asana, push ourselves into asana practice, then we are not really following the ahimsa or non-violence principle. Now, moving towards meditation. So similar thing comes in the meditation as well. So we have to be consciously aware that are we sitting comfortably. We need to be really be practical, that how much time is really possible. When we set up a really big goal, we set ourselves for failure. So I suggest start slow and start small with small goals. So for example, you can start with 5 minutes meditation. Now 5 minutes seemingly simple, but when we start sitting for meditation, you will notice that the 5 minutes feels very long because we never learn to sit down into stillness. So we're training our system. The mind initially doesn't know what's happening, so it will start and rebel, thinking that we are actually working against our system. So we need to have a very gentle practice. Guided meditation really works. So if you want, you can go to my website sunitayoga.com and download 4 guided meditations, and these are roughly 10 to 12 minutes. So you can start there if you want, or anywhere you can find a good guided meditation which really works for your system. Start there. Now what happens with the meditation is, when we are tuning into our system, and especially with guided meditation, it really helps our mental well-being. So find the practices which really you resonate with and stay with them for at least 21 days. Sometimes our mind rebel in a way that it wants to change the practices very quickly. I suggest that do the practices regularly, as regular as you can. It may not be applicable for asana practice, but for meditation practice, daily meditation is very valuable, because then you will see the positive effects of that into every part of your life. And meditation has amazing effects on our system. If you you can find out what are the benefits, like stress reduction, better breathing, calm mind. All these are just few of the side effects of meditation. There are amazing meditation. You can even reduce your high blood pressure with correct meditation practices. So finding right practice for you is very important. Now let's move towards Ayurveda, how Ayurveda can help us for mental health. Ayurveda is a science of how to live your life. In Ayurveda, daily routine is very important. What this daily routine does is basically gives us a kind of like discipline, right? And the daily, this kind of like small but yet profound daily practices really help us to stay grounded. And what happens that in our life, that the change is constant, because there are things which are not in our control. They're going to continue happening, but how can we still stay into our stillness, and how can still be grounded, so that we can face these things happening around us? If we have these positive habits, not restrictions, these are positive habits which really are going to be beneficial for you in long run to face these things which are not in our hands. Another thing is, in Ayurveda and in yoga, prevention is the key. So correct practices for habits for your system is going to be very beneficial for you in long run to stay healthy. You will notice that you have more energy. You will notice that you have more, you oxygenate your system better with right practices. You notice that you're calm and you can function better from the mental health side. So all these things is very important. Also, Ayurveda look at food, because food can affect our state of our mind. So it's very important to understand that the right food for your system is very important. Now, if you are interested in these things, you feel free to contact me by email or go to my website sunitayoga.com and send me email. I do mentoring sessions. I give people practices for their Ayurveda dosha types. So I don't prescribe herbs, but I help people to set yoga, meditation, and correct Ayurveda practices for their system. So if you are interested in these kind of like mentoring sessions, feel free to contact me, and I'm happy to help you in any way I can. If that doesn't work for you, find a Ayurveda practitioner around you and maybe see if you can find a right practices for your system. All these three things, yoga, Ayurveda, and meditation, are really, really amazing when we follow it for our regularly for our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health. And these benefits are long lasting as compared to, the short burst of energy. Like if you have coffee, it will give you that short burst of energy. But if you do meditation practice, this energy will last for long period of time. Or correct asana practice, it will help you to give you a stronger and long lasting energy, and you can sleep better with these practices. There are tremendous benefits. So I suggest that to find, online, there are a lot of things nowadays you can access. So that's a beauty of a new technology. And so feel free to go to my website, look at the courses and see what works for you, or find courses or meditation practices on internet and find that what will work for you the best. You know yourself the best, so you know that what is going to work for you. So trust in your inner wisdom. That's what I suggest. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you like what I'm sharing, please support me. I will put the link. You can click on the link and support me to continue my this love of yoga, Ayurveda, and meditation, sharing this work with the world. Thank you very much. Namaste. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate that you're taking this time out of your day. Don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye for now.